Good morning, everyone. Tess here with your AZ Family on the Go podcast. It is a very hot start to the day already. So let's check in with April on yet another first alert weather day. What are we going on here, April?
Yeah, it's going to be a hot one out there. Let's start with that first alert forecast for Wednesday, July 26. Our unprecedented heat wave continues today with a forecast record high of 119 degrees. This will be our fourth time this month to see 119 and our 27th day in a row of temperatures 110 degrees or higher. We're finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel over the weekend ahead, both for the hot temperatures and our dry stretch. It hasn't rained in Phoenix since March. There is a slight chance for wind, blowing dust and rain this evening, with storms pretty likely today to our south and to our northeast, which could bring a few storms into the valley, mainly between 6 and 11 p.m. Better chance of storms is in the forecast for the weekend, especially Saturday through Tuesday. Temperatures should come down below 110 finally by the start of next week.
Thank you so much, April. Now, we will have more on the heat and its impact on several things around the valley. But first, we have new information on several fires burning right now in both Maricopa and Yavapai counties. They include the Diamond Fire, the Racetrack Fire, and the Grapevine Fire, which is where we'll update you on first. So we now know hundreds of people in communities east of Prescott Valley are under evacuation orders as the flames creep closer to home, sadly. Families are loading up their belongings, their livestock in many cases, trying to get to safety. Lightning sparked the fire called the Grapevine Fire on Friday, and winds are now just helping them spread furiously. We spoke with some people who live in this community while they were evacuating to safety, and they say it's very unsettling to see all that dark smoke creeping up over the mountains. And while they trust, of course, the firefighters to protect their homes doing the best they can, their biggest concern is the livestock in the area, as it requires trailers to move them.
Whitehorse Ranch is mostly a horse community. There's a lot of horses in here, and there's a lot of people that don't have any way to get their livestock out. They either don't have a big enough truck to pull their trailer.
So people from surrounding communities are stepping up to help with the evacuation. Some are even offering their horse trailers to help move animals to safety. There is a shelter right now set up at Camp Verde, and you can find those details as well as the latest on this fire on our website, azfamily.com. And so as we continue to watch this, we know some of the things that we're also watching is another fire. The Diamond Fire is one. This is near Sunflower towards Payson. State Route 87, the Beeline Highway, is closed in both directions. That closure runs from the Bush Highway north to State Route 188. It's a big stretch. If you're familiar with this area, this is a 35-mile stretch. The fire spread to 1,000 acres so far. No word on when the 87 Beeline Highway may reopen. Heading back now to the heat, firefighters had to rescue an overheated hiker off Camelback Mountain early yesterday. Phoenix Fire say the woman in her 30s had about a half-mile left when she started feeling dizzy. Crews used the big wheel to help her off the mountain, and she was taken to the hospital. We're still waiting to get an update on how she's doing this morning. Meanwhile, Border Patrol agents are finding more migrants in the desert needing help in the sweltering heat. New numbers show they responded to more than 150 calls for help in the first 3 weeks of July, rescuing more than 1,000 people. Border Patrol says they've also come across human remains. Well, working outside in these high temps can also be dangerous for anyone if proper precautions aren't taken. So Phoenix Vice Mayor Yasmin Ansari met with employees at Sky Harbor Airport yesterday. She says they told her about limited access to water and air conditioning. It's important to note that these Sky Harbor employees aren't actually contracted through the airport or through the city of Phoenix. They're employed by Prospect Services. They work directly with the airlines to provide everything from tarmac and bag service to cleaning the planes. Phoenix Vice Mayor Ansari is wanting to make sure that all employees in Phoenix, including those at the airport, are able to take breaks when needed. And she wants to make sure they're able to take sick days if they suffer from any heat-related illnesses. In a statement to Arizona's Family, a Prospect Services spokesperson says the company launched a training campaign just last month to re-educate employees on heat-related awareness and prevention. They also said employees have access to several refrigerated water coolers in an air-conditioned break room area. But Ansari says That's not the message that was conveyed when she spoke with these employees. Some referenced pushback on things as simple as bringing water bottles on the plane.
It's really important for employers to be thinking very critically about just how heat can affect each, individual, and really look at somebody's age as well and make sure that their policies are comprehensive.
A Sky Harbor spokesperson says additional heat-related measures include scheduling time-sensitive outdoor work to maybe happen at night or early in the morning when it's cooler, and sometimes even just postponing any non-critical jobs outdoors.
She grabs like a towel and I could just see wiping sweat off her forehead.
So that Phoenix homeowner witnessed the dangers of working in the heat. He saw a pregnant mail carrier suffering an emergency. The moment happened right outside his home, and it was all caught on his doorbell camera. Patrick Galzabo says he was home when he saw a Postal Service worker pull up who was clearly struggling. Now, the video shows him running toward the truck to check on her. You see him right there, and give her water, eventually finding out she was pregnant. Galzabo shared the moment on social media in hopes of shining a light on the difficult conditions workers can experience during this heat wave.
For her to be out there with no food, no water, in 130-degree temperatures, I've been keeping an eye out for all the delivery people coming to my house because I heard a story that somebody caught someone collapsing on their Ring camera.
Just as he saw, right? The Postal Service says it provides mandatory heat-related safety training, and all carriers should call 911 if they're experiencing any symptoms to this heat-related illness. Meanwhile, some schools in the valley taking extra precautions to help students and staff weather the heat. As you know, a lot of kids are back in school already. In Tempe, Marcos Deniza High School has what they call cool zones set up for students and staff to make sure they don't get overheated. School officials say usually 700 students or so are outside enjoying lunch, but obviously a lot less right now. They saw maybe about 100 kids outside. So be careful whatever you are doing, guys, and try to stay indoors as much as possible is the advice from heat experts. Thank you so much for joining us this time around. Have a great and safe day, everybody.